DJ Playboy.
What's good, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. And I hate to do an episode without my dog, my brother, my mans. But he's
Girl,
back.
scream like I'm Keith.
What's good, brother?
What it is, what it do, how you feeling? I'm good. Chilling, man. How's everything with you?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. Started a new trend the past couple of weekends with starting my morning with a bike ride. And
Okay.
Yeah, past couple Saturdays, and I did it again this morning. It was smooth, man. Really, really refreshing. Really good way to clear your mind and start your day off. But as we getting older, I'm turning 38 next week. You turned 38 a few weeks ago. It's like when you do that morning workout. Back in the day, you just do your morning workout, boom, head to work, do your thing. Now you really, I'm going to take a nap after that morning workout shit. Like, shit hit you differently, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm getting knee pain, knee aches, back aches. I'm seeing a chiropractor. Trying to work out through the pain because I know, I try to rest for the pain to go away, but then I end up not in the gym, and I need the gym to stay healthy. So So I gotta figure something out. And we was talking before we started recording about like diets, not like hardcore diets. Like I'm going to go full keto or full vegan, or join PETA or some shit like that. But more so like just kind of cleaning your shit up a little bit, and how like some old ass athletes like showing some improvement through their diets, like Tom Brady and Chris Paul. I mean the last NBA playoff series notwithstanding, because Chris Paul, everybody's like, he's showing his age. But at the end of the day, he looked 33, but Chris Paul's like 36, 37, and that's pretty impressive.
Hell yeah, bro. I got a big respect for them athletes doing it at a later age. Because now some shit's happening where I'm going to sleep, okay, right? And I'm like, I don't got no aches or pains, and then I'm waking up, like, my ankle hurt, my knee hurt. I'm like, am I sleeping wrong? Like, this don't make no damn sense. Like, what the fuck is going on? Also, like you alluded to,
and not just athletes, just even celebrities, old ass celebrities like Common and Method Man. Dudes is vegan,
and they look good.
They look terrific.
Yeah, no homo. They can you say that no more? My fault. Pause. I don't even know if that's cancelable, but yeah, no, they looking good for their age. Hell yeah, that's what I want to look like when I'm their age. Shit. So
yeah.
No, it's something like, I don't know how to explain it, bro. But like you said, as we get older, you just want to go into it gracefully. You don't want to feel them aches and pains. And you said it. You said it when you get away from the gym. That's where you need to be, right? You're like, damn, I can't take no time off. That's where I need to be. 'Cause I notice the same thing. Is like if I'm not active, I'm in more pain. Like my knees hurt more, my joints hurt more. I'm like, that's like, it's like backwards. You would think, not being active, I'm letting them rest a little bit. It's like, nah, if I don't hit that exercise bike or do what I do, it's like, nah, I stiffen up kind of. It's weird.
Yeah, you gotta pick your pain, I guess, because it's either gonna be one way, you get the little aches and the little spasm or whatever, versus your whole shit just being extra tight. It takes you like 15 minutes to warm up before you get to start your day in the morning, shit like that.
The fucking stretching, right? I never was a stretching guy. Yeah, now you don't stretch, man. You setting yourself up for failure. I never was a stretching guy, man. Never at all.
Yeah,
making
man.
fun of the people stretching on the
shit.
basketball court.
Word. And I don't play basketball no more. I be stretching and shit, just stretching my quads and my hip flexors and shit.
It's good. The game's real, man. But it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? I got 38 coming up next week. Looking forward to it, man. Life's scary, bro. It's so much shit going on. Obviously, we just dealt with Corona. We see the war going on overseas in Ukraine, and sometimes you put yourself in those people's position, like, yo, they was just living their life, and now people just had to uproot and from their country, or they're surrounded by war. And I try not to take things for granted. I try to just show more gratitude for every day and that I'm given, and just it's a blessing, right? Just if I can find 80 things to be mad about, but let me focus on a couple good things that I got today. My hands work, my legs work, my feet. You know what I mean? Like your heart work. I ain't got no crazy diseases, so it's definitely a blessing. And something that just puts life in perspective was that tragedy that happened in Buffalo last week. It was a mass shooting. I'm sure you heard about it, Keith. I'm sure a lot of people out there, obviously at this point, have heard about it. But it was basically racist white supremacist, young guy, right? 18. I know. Yeah, I think he's a little bit older than 18, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. What he traveled to Buffalo. He said that was the most populated. The neighborhood he went to, he said that was the most populated area for black. I guess just black people, just most populated area for black people up there. Drove a few hours out to Buffalo and started a mass shooting in the parking lot, and then went inside the Top supermarket and was trying to kill as much black people as he could find. He killed 10 people and wounded 3 others. I believe 8 of those were black people. The people that died were black, 2 were white. His name was Peyton Gendron. He had a whole manifesto pretty much explaining, that this is what he wanted to do and that his goal was to kill as many black people as possible. He had a lot of stuff in his past. He had threatened to do a mass shooting suicide. I think when he was in high school, and they took him to be evaluated, but they let him go. Had he had been involuntarily committed, it probably would have prevented this. But no, they let him back out. He was allowed to buy an AR-15 style gun. The owner of the gun store said, no red flags came up during the background check. So this kid was basically just given the freedom to go be crazy. You know what I mean? For lack of a better term, to suffer from his mental illness, whatever it is, and just be guided by just hatred, right? It's nuts, man, and it hurts. That in today's day and age, that is something that we still got to suffer from. Like you would think like, yo, that's some civil rights, you know what I'm saying? That's some olden days type shit, but nah, it's still happening in 2022.
Yeah, definitely. In a northern city like Buffalo, me coming from a northern city, I think the feeling is that when you grow up in a black neighborhood, the feeling is like, all right, they leave us alone. We interact at work or the doctor's office or whatever, and like stuff like this will, the concept of white on white violence and black on black violence, because you do violence against the people in your community, like pretty much proximity.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a jarring thought. That I think he drove hours, right? I'm not sure where he drove from, but
yeah,
like
2 hours.
Yeah, that concept of that, of like that. It's a crazy concept. It's almost like foreign invasion. You know what I'm saying? Like reminds me of the church thing, the church shooting in South Carolina. Like the dude made a point to go into the church, sit there, and then massacre people. Like, is a scary. The concept is scary.
Yeah, I guess he was a student at SUNY Broome, or I may be pronouncing that wrong, Broome. But yeah, it really is mind baffling. And then the fact of the matter, there's a ton of shootings that weekend. Something happened in Milwaukee. There was a church shooting in California. So it's kind of like you're so numb to it. But I think why this stings a little bit more and why it hits a little bit more is because when someone writes a 180-page manifesto, which is where the fuck you get time to write all that, just spewing racist, just ideologies and what he envisions for the world. It's just like when someone travels that distance, like you said, it's like and kills somebody. Now, I in my opinion, I think it'll be very difficult for the family members of those victims to not have racist feelings themselves, right? Like it'd be very hard to forgive and be like, all right, well, I can just judge white people, I guess, for who they are individually. It's like, nah, I'm sure this is gonna sting, bro. This is gonna psychologically change your opinion of white people, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And based off the act of one idiot, you know what I'm saying, of one kid, not even a grown man, who should not have access to this type of weapon. Just, you know what I mean? It's nuts. And then you got what's his name, Tucker Carlson's, and the people who spew this shit online, that they don't even want to, they're not even going to stand up and be like, all right, yo, maybe, we're spewing the wrong thing, or maybe we're saying the wrong thing. They keep on doing the shit. They keep on raising, little motherfuckers like this and idiots out there that don't know the difference between reality and the fantasy world. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, man. It's sickening. But just the fact that the accessibility to weapons that we have in this country is nuts, with the amount of mental health people suffering from mental health issues in this country.
Yeah, all the accessibility to weapons and just uh, sick ideas, like the whole replacement theory thing and all that, the so-called replacement theory. Like,
What does that mean? I heard that term, but can you explain that maybe a little bit better for me?
basically non-white, non-American people replacing white people, pretty much. White
So
Americans.
like they're scared that their numbers are going down because they feel like they're being replaced.
Exactly, pretty much. Like they're they're the inheritors of America, so they don't basically they don't want others to take their shit. Like, this is from their perspective.
Even though they took someone else's shit.
Exactly. A lot of shit about the country's fucked up. Like, I won't lie to you, I ain't going nowhere else. You hear a lot of comedians just to tell that joke, man. Where you expect me to go? You expect me to go, like Mike? I think Mike Epps in his special, he'd be like, "Yo, you go to Africa." The dude's is like, "Man, it's foreigner over here." He's like, "Where you gonna go?" And that's kind of what it is. So I think America's still the greatest country for me, but like just the history of it, there's a lot of poison, just coursing through the veins of America and American culture, and that's scary. For work, I might have to travel to like the West Virginia area, and I was just looking at the maps and shit. I was like, damn, man, do I really want to do this shit? Can I go to HR and be?
And that's funny because you never been to West Virginia. You just going off of what you heard about West Virginia. I'm assuming, right? Like,
yo,
it might be dope as fuck out there.
I won't. I'll go over to Pennsylvania, just look over with binoculars, just like, not yet.
Keith's like, what's the route from the airport to the hotel? That's all I'm sticking to.
Word up, man. Yo, that is crazy, but yeah, man, that whole concept is just crazy in 2022, and I know a lot of people equivocate, like, what's the word? Like they almost like waffle. They're like, yeah, the internet is good. It's not really the internet. Yeah, there's a lot of factors, and we could speak about a few of them, but we can say part of it's the internet, like just the nature of the internet. It brings a lot of good things, but like the easy access to ideas like this is dudes used to have to go to a library or happen to meet a dude at AA or something to get these ideas. Now you just you stumble on a YouTube video and be like, oh, word, yeah, that's true. They're gonna replace us.
It's the same thing with pedophiles, right? Like, the pedophiles always existed, but then the internet came out, and now these motherfuckers are trading shit back and forth, right? Or like child porn or some dumb shit like that. It's like the internet is great. Both things could be true. Internet could be great, and it also could be a very disgusting place. And the fact that it's shared ideas, that's all the internet really is, right? It's just you're sharing ideas, and that you're allowing people to have access to those ideas. And yeah, that's gonna be great in a lot of things, and it's gonna be indifferent in a lot of things, and a lot of it's going to be disgusting. And I think that's just the reality of life, right? It is just what it is. And what gets me mad is that stuff like this exists, right? You have a mass shooting that's racially motivated, but then you'll have people say, no, critical race theory. Let's not teach white kids about history. We don't want to make them sad. And it's like, I know, like, I'm belittling and I'm making it seem like it's trivial, but no, it's like, you don't want to make somebody feel sad because of what people, they quote unquote ancestors did. Like, it's like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, this, you're trying to hide the past, but then you want to spread this nonsense about being replaced. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're picking and choosing the what reality you want to live in, and it's raising little Peyton Gendrons, whatever the fuck his name is, like, you know what I mean, to be like this. This kid don't got no common sense. Kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, he probably literally suffered from the same thing like the Columbine kids suffer from, but then this just gave him a cause. You know what I'm saying? He probably was gonna be fucked up one way or another, but now we just gave him something to fucking put his passion behind. And it's like, like you said, the internet just is the accessibility to dumb ideas as well as smart ones are both out there, and it's what people choose to expose themselves to. But yeah, man, I want to try a new segment up in here, Keith. You know, we've been doing the show for a long time. I think it's time to introduce a little segment. Usually we link up like every 2 weeks. So some things happen in the news that we don't get to, you know what I'm saying, kick it. So there's a new segment I want to call Last Week's News. And I think since last time we spoke, this might have happened more than last week, but we didn't get to talk about this. We mentioned Chris Paul earlier, but I don't know if you've seen the footage when he was arguing with a fan from the court. Come to find out, that fan was escorted out because he was harassing Chris Paul's mother. Kept tapping Chris Paul's mother on the shoulder, saying Happy Mother's Day, while yelling out profanities at the Phoenix Suns. This happened in Dallas during the series against Dallas. And the Mavericks staff made sure, you know, he was kicked out and banned for life. But it's just like, what the fuck is going on with NBA fans, bro? Like, what makes you go into an NBA? Football used to have that stereotype where people be wilding out at football games, but now it's like at basketball games, it's like they enter them arena doors and just lose their damn mind.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna just say I'm gonna be that guy, man. It's the media, but it's but here's why I say it, because the NBA's become such a entertainment entity that it just has more eyes, and people feel like, you know, people feel it's that dude to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see a bunch of dudes in a room and somebody comes to you and just fucks with you for some reason. Like, I guess that's the NBA. You have access to the court, right? Unlike the NFL. But the NFL, people jump over and like do like streaky shit, like they run across the field or something like that, like hijinks. Mm-hmm. But now people are just doing weird harassing stuff. I guess people in baseball, in other sports, harass fans too. Fans harassing each other, but the NBA, I guess just because the camera's on them, you just notice all this wild shit, like the protesters and harassing shit like this, people harassing the players and all that.
And they're the closest to the players. Now that you mention it, like that,
right.
The way the arena set up, they're the closest to them. They can actually hear the shit that they're yelling at them.
Right. Exactly. It's sad that they did that, man. I think it was his mom and his wife that they harassed, right?
Mm-hmm. What level of research do you got to do to know what Chris Paul's mom looked like? Like, I wouldn't know that off the top. I don't even know what LeBron's mom looks like at this point. Like, maybe back when she was used to be, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I wouldn't know. I'd have to overhear our conversation, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I wouldn't know that was just, that's crazy. And then, but the audacity to touch her? Like, what's wrong with you, bro? Like, it's the people wilding, man. But yeah, it's and the sad thing about it is probably don't even learn his lesson. Kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, little kid, he looked pretty young when they kicked him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, probably to do some dumb shit like that again. Because alcohol was part of it. You know, he kept being served alcohol. Actually, matter of fact, Chris Paul's wife went to tell security to tell the bartenders to stop serving him alcohol, because he was so lit. And it's just like, yeah, like you mix those two elements, the closer to the players, their family being around, feeling like you could just say any old thing because the logo on your shirt. It's like, nah, man, like they gotta calm that shit down, because it's getting to a point where it's escalating. It's getting worse and worse, and something is gonna happen. Somebody is gonna go up in them stands and malice in the palace on one of these dudes, man.
Yeah, man, and might not get fined heavily for it. Maybe get suspended for a game and get like $50,000, because they're like, I get it. Like, it's kind of like, well, hopefully that would be the case. Like, people getting out of hand, they go handle it. I just mentioned protesters. I think for it was like animal rights, right?
In Minnesota, yeah. They were wild.
I guess fans must think folks in Minneapolis is them dudes. They're like, yo, let's go to Minneapolis, do this shit. I don't think we could get away with this shit in Milwaukee. But the dude, I forgot the actor's name. He's like 80 years old. He glued himself, like, you see how they try to glue themselves to the court in Minnesota? Mm-hmm. The dude glued himself to the countertop in Starbucks.
For animal rights?
For animal rights, because Starbucks charges for plant-based milk.
I think people just be losing their damn. He has a platform, right? I forgot. I remember you sent me an article, but he's an actor of some sort. So it's like you got a platform, bro. This is the best way to go about it.
And he's pretty famous. He's not I can't even remember his name, but when you see him, you're like, oh, that's the dude from whatever. You might confuse the movie. Oh, that's the dude from True Lies or some shit. Nah, he wasn't in True Lies. He looked like he would have been in Die Hard. And I don't know if he was in Die Hard, but he looked like a dude who would be casted as a villain in Die Hard. And yeah, I mean, it's I think Starbucks is them dudes, because Dunkin' Donuts charges for plant-based milk.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't get that attention though. He wanted the attention.
yeah. I guess he was protesting, saying that they should give it for free. Mm-hmm. And I mean, from a business perspective, plant-based milk costs a lot of money. That would be a tough one if you're a small coffee shop owner. That's a difficult one to Unless
if he owned a coffee shop, he would do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just business, dog. Like, come on, man. But Keith, in last week's news, Alabama corrections officer Vicky White and escaped inmate Casey White finally had their 11-day manhunt brought to an end, ending in a police chase. If you're not familiar with this story, Vicky White was a corrections officer for, I believe, over 20 years, had an outstanding record, and decided to help an inmate, Casey White, which she was not related to in any way, escape from jail. I've done some research on it. It looked like they had met previously a few years ago. Then he got moved to a different prison when he had been sent back for a crime he had done or confessed to that area. I guess he had linked back up with Shorty. And from what other inmates say, he received special treatment, like he got extra food and he got extra just privileges. At first, it was weird because she had just announced her retirement abruptly, even though she never filed any paperwork. She sold her house out the blue. It looks like something that she was planning for a while. Spent money on men's clothes and wigs and just all types of stuff, I guess, to help with their escape. And literally walked him right out the front door, saying she was taking him to an evaluation, drove to a parking lot, left the cop car, and hopped in a car that she bought with a fake name. So she was in. She was down. At first, they actually thought she was taken hostage, but nah, she might have been the mastermind of this bitch. And for 11 days, they was able to be on the run until it was brought to a tragic end, in which she tragically actually killed herself as opposed to being arrested, and Casey was apprehended. But that was a wild story, bro.
Yeah, I wish it makes me feel like going back to school and studying psychology so I could understand the G that inmates have, because like something happened like that in upstate New York too, right? Like,
yeah, Escape from Dannemora. It's a Ben Stiller produced movie. You could check it out. But yeah, that happened out here, and that was the lady helped the two inmates. They were both smashing her at different periods of time while they were locked up. But I don't know if what she thought was gonna happen, and I think she wanted them to kill her husband too.
That's crazy. Yo,
there's
how much that hurt as a spouse. Like, I can't even imagine my wife flirting with another. I can't even imagine her taking free coffee from a male barista. Like, that's how insecure I am, and most men are like that.
He worked in the jail. The husband worked there.
Oh man, I do that work. Imagine you worked at like H&R Block, not even a jail, and your wife had a crush on your coworker. You be like, him, this dude. Oh man.
Nah, I didn't watch that a miniseries fully. I watched a little bit of it, and I actually do want to finish it. But there is something to be said that I think there's a study that needs to be done about people that work in prisons and people that work in schools. Because there's something about when you enter that building that I believe certain individuals forget their roles, right? They forget that I'm the CO. They forget I'm the teacher. And I think sometimes they think they're part of the group that they're watching over. You know what I'm saying? Like, this actually just happened. Another escape happened at a juvenile facility. This lady, she was like 21 years old. She's a CO, helped 3 underage inmates escape. Like, what was the game plan? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, where's the I don't even know, where did you think this was gonna lead to? Were you gonna get to Mexico? Like, what is going on here? Like, this is I think this, and then you hear it with like a lot of like female teachers that will have sex with male students. Like, you'll talk to them and you'll realize something's not connecting. Like, something's not there. She still thinks she's 17 years old. You know what I'm saying? She still thinks she's 15 years old. Like, she doesn't realize she's past a certain point, and now she's going through a glass wall that shouldn't be broken by having relations with this student or inmate or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think there definitely needs to be some type of study done on that, because I do, and I'm sure it happens in other places too, right? I'm sure there's other facilities where that must occur, but those two are like the most prevalent, I think, of institutions where you're like, you're not supposed to have sex with the students. You're not supposed to have sex with it, but for some reason you see it happening, right? At a lot. It's not like a one off.
That must be difficult. Like, how are you going to find the subjects to participate in your, you can find the victims that that you can find.
You probably have to find people that were already convicted of it and see how much willing they are to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's like when serial killers be like Charles Manson be giving like the interview, like, yeah, this is how I did it. Probably one of those joints.
I seen a Dateline about a teacher that had, I think she had a child with a student actually, and then she had to go to jail. But like, there's just an interview with her. I picked up on certain things. I was like, yo, she's not together mentally. Like, she probably doesn't even realize she did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? But she was willing to talk about it. So I guess like in that type of way, maybe after they get convicted of a crime. But it's just, there's something to be said there. Like, she said this lady worked for Vicky White, worked there for like 20 something years and never had an incident. Like, what? Just up and sold her house, up and sold all her belongings, and was like, all right, let's go, ride or die.
Man, that's crazy, man. Terrible story.
Yeah, no. But yeah, but I mean, luckily they were caught, because he was a violent inmate. You know what I'm saying? That definitely could have been hurting more people, and definitely, so it's a good thing that they're caught. Sad story for Shorty. But you know what I mean? It's like, it's the way it goes sometimes, man. Keith.
Yeah.
I got another new segment for you, brother. This one is called Move the Needle. There's some things that happen, right? But there's so many stories that go on. We can't even talk about it all. So I'm gonna hit you with like, some subjects. You let me know which one moves the needle for you, and that's the one we're gonna talk about it, man. First up in baby news. Which one moves the needle for you, brother? Britney Spears suffers a miscarriage after announcing her pregnancy early, or Rihanna gave birth to a healthy baby boy.
Of course I'm gonna pick Rihanna. What the fuck? After talking about our last two topics, I would gladly pick Rihanna and ASAP. Man, that is awesome news.
Hell yeah! Congratulations to ASAP Rocky and Rihanna, welcoming a healthy baby boy this past May 13th. Just on May 13th, man. Haven't announced the name quite yet, but shout out to them, man. That's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Just how old is Rihanna? She has to be like mid-30s, right?
Yeah, probably early 30s, mid-30s.
Yeah, 34. Yeah. Nicki Minaj, I think, had her kid. She's probably in her mid-30s. It's like I got the perception that a lot of these girls were told, your career, you're this, you're that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it looked like they were able to have their career, have their success, and then still be able to go on to, create families and have it all. And maybe Beyonce kind of laid out the blueprint for that, right? Like, yo, you don't gotta like give up the industry or nothing like that to go start a family or do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Like, just get your success, get your fame. Don't feel like you have to conform to this industry's rules of, you know what I mean? You'll always be performing, always be dancing, always on the hamster wheel. Like, Rihanna don't gotta make another song again. You know what I'm saying? So she's in a really good place and even better. It sucks that ASAP Rocky's going through some legal trouble though.
Is it bad? Is legal trouble?
They said he shot somebody. He got arrested coming back in from vacation. And I guess one of the ASAP members supposedly snitched on him.
Wow.
Yeah. But hopefully he's able to fight that. Hopefully it just sounds wild. Like, they said it happened out in LA and it happened a couple months ago, but they just never, they caught him coming back in, I guess, on customs from a vacation. But it's just, I don't know, the whole story just seems a little weird, but I really hope he's able to fight that, because I hate when people got beautiful things going on in their life. Like, he was just about to have a kid, and then somebody brought up cheating allegations. You know what I'm saying? Just about to have a kid, then he got arrested. So I'm hoping that he can actually enjoy this beautiful time in his life.
Yeah. Man, that's really cool, man. Like, now that Rihanna doesn't make music, like, she has such a mystique around her. Like, when she pops up, it's special. You know what I'm saying? I feel almost like, I don't know, there's a question for you. Like, who, you have a party and you could choose either Rihanna or Beyonce, but both of them can't come. Which one, like, would you want to invite to create, like, buzz for your party? Like, people be like, yo, I gotta show up to that shit.
That's a good question. I think you're good either way, right? Like, I think you the man either way. But shit, I don't know, Beyonce. I kind of want to talk to Beyonce and just like not in an interview or nothing like that, but like kind of just really see where her head is at, because she seems really guarded. But nah, like you said, I think you're good either way. Like, Rihanna seems like a really interesting chat too. You know what I'm saying? So I guess maybe just Beyonce let you in on what she wants to let you in on, but she wants to keep something private, she will. And she also seems kind of shy, so she's not like overly like, yo, this is, you know what I mean, like boisterous when she walks in the room. She seems kind of to herself, kind of guarded. So I don't know, I probably would want to kick it with Beyonce a little bit, but I'm happy as hell.
It's a tough one though.
Yeah, a tough one, like a motherfucker. Like Nicki or Cardi B? Who you want at your party? Nicki or Cardi B? I don't know.
Well, Cardi B, that's easy.
Why is that?
She just seems interesting, man. Like, she just seems like the most interesting woman in the world. Like, she look mad, like mad fun, and like, if she spaz on somebody, it would probably just be fun. She probably spaz and be like, I need to spaz on you because you crossed the line or something. But let's get back to this party, and then drop the needle right back on the record.
What about Beyonce, Rihanna?
Probably Rihanna, man, because her career is taking a fascinating, just a fascinating turn, just as far as like her business acumen and stuff, and just like how'd you make that transition?
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like, I would love to talk to her about that, like just the Fenty Savage, where that idea came from, and how it just worked out, because I'm sure she's not the first one to go that direction, but why it worked out for her, I guess, as opposed to other people. I'd love to find out something about that. Something interesting you mentioned with Cardi B too is like, I feel like back in the day, right, you would expose a woman, be like, yo, her nudes, right? You'll leak her nudes or something like that. And I don't know, maybe that's just where we're at in the society, but I feel like someone like Cardi B is like, I don't give a fuck. I used to, you know what I used to do for a living? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no like slut shaming women, I guess, nowadays, when they embrace it, right? When they embrace, like, this is my life. When someone's trying to hide and put up a different front, then I guess it's easy to slut shame. But it's like when you're your authentic self and we know who you are and you're like, yo, this is what it is. You can't, it's kind of untouchable.
Yeah, I think authenticity is probably like, it's just true authenticity. Like, you get the sense like, yo, like Cardi B is really like that. Like, she just say, yo, you know, I was a dancer. Like, just all this shit is just out there and she embraces it. And I think it's some inspiration just for a lot of people. Like, yo, I could be a professional and be authentic, I guess, with some caveats to that, but for the most part, be fucking authentic.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a good like filter. I even thought about it for some reason. It's off subject, but like when Nas dropped Ether, right? I remember it was like, yo, how do you bounce back? You know, post Biggie and Pac. How do you bounce back from somebody saying, yo, I messed with your baby moms? You know what I'm saying? I did this, like, it's over, right? What do you say? And then Nas is just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not even gonna address that. I'm just gonna diss you. And straight up just murder you on the record, back to back to back to back to back, like line after line after line, with a point where you're like, oh, I don't even, he could have fucked Nas's moms. You know, you don't give a, it's like, yo, the bars is better. You know what I'm saying? The bars. So it's like, yeah, just, I guess, being authentic to yourself. People are always gonna try to hold something against you or put something on you. And it's just like, yo, when you're your authentic self, it really can't hurt. Not that it really can't hurt you, because I'm sure everybody goes through what they go through, but you know what I'm saying? It's an easier bounce back as opposed to, I guess, when you're trying to put up a front. Like Will Smith, I feel like Will Smith is in a weird place because he was trying to put on this perfect image and we've seen it crack. right? And then we seen it like in front of our face, like the pressure got to him. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like embrace, like no one would have been like, yo, and I'm not that I'm saying the slap is related to what he went through with the August Alsina shit, but I don't think anyone would have been like, I think trying to pretend as if you're happy about it and go through it and do a whole red table talk, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Because no one's happy about that. You know what I'm saying? And it leads to cracking. It leads to, you know what I'm saying? At some point, you can only put up that smile for so long. And sometimes you just got to take the L and bounce back.
All right.
Keep running real low on time, man. So before we get up out of here, move the needle. I need to know, man, what moved the needle for you? Taylor Swift speaks at the NYU commencement, or Steph Curry graduating from Davidson?
The Steph Curry joint was a cool one. Like, you hear a lot about people saying, yo, man, my mom just wanted me to graduate. Like, that was it. Even if they don't need no degree for no reason. Like, she just wanted to see me graduate. And like, for him to do that was really cool. And his thesis was about equal pay, gender equality in sports and equal pay and stuff like that. Like that was really cool. And then that happened just around the same time as the U.S. women's and men's soccer teams. They're going to get paid equal amounts. So I think,
are they okay? That was a long fight. They've been fighting that for a while. Shout out to the women's soccer team.
Yeah. I think they're gonna like put the, I don't know how the money is, like how that works exactly, but they're gonna put the money in a pool, and then each team they'll get paid. They'll get paid the same, which is dope because and I'm not a big soccer fan, but the men suck and the women are really, really good,
and they're more famous.
So,
the women's team are
right,
more famous.
And they're more famous. They're interesting, but they say that men's soccer just gets more eyeballs, so like that's where a lot of the money comes from. Mm-hmm. But I mean, really, the women should get paid more in this particular case. But I guess this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah. But shout out to Steph Curry. Recently, Megan Thee Stallion graduated. Anthony Anderson just graduated from Howard University, which is dope. The Steph Curry one was interesting because I've never heard of Davidson College before Steph Curry. I'm not sure if you have, Keith. But before Steph Curry played, in that famous March Madness, I wasn't even familiar with the college, and they actually were not putting him in the Hall of Fame. They stuck to their guns and like, you didn't graduate from here, we can't put you in the Hall of Fame. Despite him winning MVPs, despite him winning world championships, they were like, you got to get this degree, which is kind of corny, but I guess it's kind of like cool in the sense that they stuck to their guns on that and then just like cave for Steph Curry. But yeah, shout out to him. He went back, did what he had to do, man. Shout out to Steph. Keith, one last one before we get up out of here. Which one moved the needle for you, brother? Three in this one, actually. Jack Harlow's album release after his appearance at the Kentucky Derby. Your man Bad Bunny has 4 songs on the top 10 Spanish language songs, no English in them, which is the first time 4 of them have been in the top 10 on the Billboard charts. Or your man Kendrick dropping a fire album. Which one moved the needle for you this week, brother?
I mean, for me, because I didn't hear about the other two, the Kendrick album moved the needle, but that Bad Bunny factoid is interesting. Mm-hmm. 4 top, you said top 10?
Yeah, 4 songs in the top 10.
That's crazy. That's a crazy stat.
Yeah.
Spanish language. I mean, shout out to diversity. Shout out to artistry. My God.
Mm-hmm. And it's like there's some stiff competition. Stiff competition. Like the Jack Harlow is, he moves numbers, and Kendrick is a beast. That Kendrick album though is lit. That Bad Bunny album, it might be hard. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. But that Kendrick album, I listened to Jack Harlow's album too, and I was really impressed. That Kendrick is different though, man. Like the joint he got with Summer Walker, Ghostface, that the We Cry Together joint where he's arguing with his girlfriend, I think might be the hardest track on it for me. It's a fire album, bro.
Yeah, it's dope, man. I was telling you offline that it reminds me of like old school albums that came on CD where you take out the booklet and shit, skits and just the sequencing of the songs and everything. Like it was just, it's an album.
What is it though?
Album. You just sit with
what
it.
is giving it that old school? Because I had that same feeling too, and I can't put my finger on it. What is giving it that old school hip hop? Is it the beats? Is it the way the tracks flow into each other? I'm not sure, but I got that same feeling you just mentioned.
I think it's everything, but particularly it just feels like you take time with it. Like either you're gonna listen to it or not, but if you listen to it, you got to take time with it. Like you can't just kind of jump in and bang out 10 3-minute songs and then that same artist just drops another one later in the year. Like it feels like it has been like 5 years since his last album. Like it feels like he actually been doing something in that 5 years.
Definitely.
Versus just dropping 10 or 12 tracks.
Do you like that more from artists where they kind of give you a break and then drop a project? Or do you like that period, I guess maybe the Drake approach where I might not drop an album this year, but I'm still going to give you 3 bangers and a couple features?
Well, I guess they have to do it though. You gotta stay hot for the most part. You gotta stay relevant. You gotta put something out there. And I guess it's easier to distribute your music nowadays, so you don't have to cook up a whole LP just to have a release date and all that stuff. But I mean, what I personally prefer, I mean, I'm an old ass dude, so I prefer the old way. People to take a year or two off and they drop their joint and it's like a fully baked project.
Yeah. Nah, definitely shout out to Kendrick, man. Definitely took his time and dropped a banger. So go out and check that album out. It is called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Kendrick's on there a lot too. I remember when Rick had told us Kendrick's on there, I didn't understand what he was mentioning. I thought he meant like features, but no, Kendrick is definitely. Not Kendrick. I mean, Kodak Black is definitely on the album heavy. But yeah, Keith, that's another episode in the books, brother. Always a pleasure doing an episode with you, man. Where can my people find you at, Big Keith?
Instagram, Mima_35.
You can find your boy, DJ Playboy, on Instagram at Pliccapeezy, PLICCAPEEZY. Also on Twitter at DJ Playboy. Follow Perfect Talk Podcast on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio. Also check out our website, www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Got some big changes coming up, so stay tuned for that. Also, you can find every episode of Perfect Talk Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio. Feel like Spotify, you know what I mean, everywhere your podcasts are sold. So go out, check that out, you know what I mean, leave a rating, leave a like, leave a review, because we like that around here. Keith, today is May 21st, would have been the 50th birthday of the Notorious BIG. Rest in peace, Christopher Wallace. You will always be loved, Brooklyn and beyond. I think the Empire State Building is going to be the colors of the Ready to Die album, which is dope. I know that there are several things going out around the city, including there's going to be like a one of the orchestras are going to have a show in June to commemorate his 50th birthday, as well as a box set of I believe Ready to Die that's dropping. So a lot of dope things going on, man. Biggie been a huge influence on my life, man. I remember when I heard Unbelievable for the first time, and I was like, what is this, with the R. Kelly sample and everything? And it was just like, yo, this dude is spitting, man. Like, and I know this is a hard one, and I'm about to put you on the spot without any prep, but if you had to pick one Notorious B.I.G. song to be on a desert island with, man, what is that Biggie song that you would rock to?
Man, one song.
Maybe two if you need. If you need two, you could go two.
One is Juicy.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Unbelievable is the first Biggie song I ever heard, and that hit hard.
Mm-hmm.
But like something about Juicy was just like, that's big. Like when that shit hit the radio like that, like, wow, this dude never heard anything like this before, and it's still one of the dopest songs ever. And then you said two. Another one, let me see. Man, it's Sky's the Limit. Now, Sky's the Limit's not one of the best songs, but you said if I'm on a desert island and I have to play two Biggie songs over and over, it's just to diversify. It's smooth, it's kind of motivational a little bit. So I guess both of them. I guess I'm just a motivational dude because both of them's kind of motivational.
Very inspirational songs you picked right there, man. Yeah, Juicy definitely gets me motivated, and Sky's the Limit, makes you feel like keep going. So yeah, you're right about that, man. A lot of rappers got white people to say the N-words at concerts and in the club, but I think Biggie might have hit the hardest when he's like, if you don't know, now you know, nigga. White people love that part.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, the whole club chanting that shit. But yeah, Biggie definitely had his influence on the world, man. And I'm not gonna lie, 20-something years later, you know what I'm saying? The fact that I don't even see Tupac's birthday celebrated as heavy, or like just, you know what I mean? Even March, I wasn't big on celebrating March 9th because I'm not big on celebrating someone's death day. But for years, you know, that was the big thing. March 9th was the big one. But the fact that like, and I think a lot of it has to do with P. Diddy still being famous, you know what I mean? To the point where he just hosted the Billboard Awards last week. So I think Diddy had a big part in pushing Biggie's legacy. But the fact that we still talking about him 20-something years later after his death, man, you did it, Big. With 2 albums? You did it, bro.
That's the crazy part, man. It's just 2 albums, or he's like 24 at his death, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And I think Biggie, you were able to connect with him more, whereas Tupac, who was about the same age, was like maybe 26 or something like that. He both very young dudes. But Tupac, we done seen like 4 or 5 Tupacs while he was famous.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess this is difficult to connect. I love this music. The whole persona was very entertaining. But like Biggie's like, oh, that's Biggie. The same dude who came out was more or less the same dude who left, except he wore that fedora, that fancy fedora all the time. And the Kangol and shit. But otherwise, same dude. And that's kind of like you having a certain affection for him. It's like, yo, that's Brooklyn. I know this is supposed to be a short segment, just to check out, but real quick, like this comedian Tony Baker mentioned that, you know, people identify Tupac as West Side, but I think he was like born in New York and grew up in like the DMV area, but then like he moved out to Oakland. Like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't sound West Coast to me, but it's like, oh, he said West Side, so therefore he's West Side.
Mm-hmm.
Biggie, there's no doubt is Brooklyn. Like, there's no, oh, you think he from Queens? Or he was kind of born in Jamaica. I don't think he was, but, you know, his mom's Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he's Brooklyn. Like, you know, even if you're not from Brooklyn, it's like, yo, that's Brooklyn right there. That's Biggie. And I think that kind of, it made it easier to fuck with him.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. When you are anchored down in one locale, it makes it a lot easier for that locale to get behind you. Whereas as Tupac, even after his death, I found out certain things about him. I'd be like, oh, he lived there? Oh, he spent time there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't even know. So it's just like, and then he had, you know, a prison sentence that, you know, took years out of his life that he could have been out here making more of an impact. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's Biggie. You did your part, man. Rest in peace. We're gonna keep the legacy alive. As a Brooklynite, it definitely inspires me. Even the way the Brooklyn Nets get behind them, and they play so much Biggie, and they had the Biggie and flavored Coogee, you know, jerseys at one time. It's 2 albums, bro. The impact you do it, you just, sky's the limit, like Keith said, and we gonna keep repping your legacy. So Biggie, rest in peace. You know, shout out to everybody out there. You know what I mean? Stay blessed. Brooklyn, stand up.
One last question, and then we check out. What city would, like, if they were to make an anthem for the city or town, would pick a Tupac song?
What city you said?
Yeah.
Or you want me to say what, like the city and the song?
Like Brooklyn would pick a Biggie song for you know, or Brooklyn's gonna pick the Biggie song. Like, what city out there would say, yo, let's pick this Tupac song as our anthem?
LA, maybe. I think he did a lot for LA in terms of just, even if they might not have seen him there as for the amount of time that they want to, as like a Nipsey or a Snoop or something like that. I think with songs like To Live and Die in LA, California Love, LA could definitely get behind Tupac with pride.
Definitely.
Yeah. And New York, and so you know, certain songs, you know what I mean, they might identify this as more of a New York sound when he was out there making songs like that. So it's I just think it's a dope thing as these people to, after you pass away, for your music to still be living on to this day. So it's hopefully people listen to my podcast, you know what I'm saying, after we ain't here no more, Keith, they still rocking out to us. So, you know what I mean? Definitely them brothers have taught us a lot in terms of legacy. So peace and blessings, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep enjoying your birthday month. I got a birthday coming up, so, you know, send some shout outs to your boy, and we gonna keep it moving, man. Say goodbye to the people, brother.
Peace.
Peace.